What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV, back here for another Tottenham update for you guys, and obviously we will be talking extensively about the manager search, and we will be starting off with Julian Nagelsmann, as the Times are reporting that Julian Nagelsmann does prefer a move to Chelsea over Tottenham. Melissa Reddy of Sky Sports saying that Julian Nagelsmann wants to manage in the Premier League. The complex situation around Fabio Paratici has put Tottenham on the back foot, and Florian Plettenberg very recently is saying that Tottenham target Nagelsmann has made himself immediately available for the Chelsea job, and Chelsea talks with Nagelsmann are ongoing and positive. Things are looking good, but no final decision. So it looks as though the writing is on the wall for Nagelsmann to Chelsea, as we all expected when Potter got sacked.
The dream was nice while it lasted, but was never really an option which we really thought was going to happen. And it looks as though the boat has now sailed. That's what clubs who are able to get their act together quickly can do. They can swiftly move for a manager who's willing to go to them immediately because they know he'll give them the budget. They'll know that things are in place for him to immediately take the job, whereas at Tottenham we're just a mess. Everything's up in the air. No one will look at us right now, and because it's how the club is run, and that's a sad situation. So absolutely not surprised. I think it's a great appointment for Chelsea if they get it done, and it's another one we missed out on.
Absolutely, and it feels as though the 72 days for waiting for Nuno Espirito Santo, it feels like we could be waiting a bit longer for our next manager.
I know, it's already been how long? A week?
A week, yeah.
Well, so long. I think we've got a long summer ahead, I think.
I think so. But let's move on. Let's talk about Mauricio Pochettino, as Ali Gold saying that Mauricio Pochettino is a popular choice with the fans, but there is reservations from both sides about a potential return. Reservations in the boardroom, and also reservations from Mauricio Pochettino about returning to the club at this current climate.
Yeah, and it makes complete sense. I think he would want to look when Poch left, and obviously it wasn't his choice, but you know, he's when you hear him speak about how he has unfinished business and he would love to come back and try and win trophies, I don't think he meant come back in this kind of disarray. You know, I think he'd probably want to come back when we're more settled, we have more of a vision going on. You know, things are in a different situation. But right now, there's just so much uncertainty. No one knows what's around the corner, and why would he want to sign up to turning this around when he knows that he got the blame for things turning sour last time? So why would he sign up to the job at this point? I don't see a reason for it. So I think I understand his reservations. Our reservations, I mean, I don't personally get. I understand maybe with when Paratici was here, but with him gone or on his way out anyway, I think that should lessen the reservations from Tottenham's side as to wanting a manager of the caliber of Pochettino back. We know he can work in under this structure and with limited resources. So I would, if I was the hierarchy, I would think he'd be one of the. Now, no, Nagelsmann's probably gone. He would probably be my number one, but clearly, for one reason or another, they still hold. Though maybe people still think they got the decision right, I guess. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised with that whatsoever, because we only heard very recently that Enoch and Daniel Levy think they're doing such a stellar job at the club. So they probably think all these decisions that we think they're getting wrong, they probably think they're absolutely spot on, to be honest. And that will speak a lot about the hierarchy, to be honest. But I was actually reading an article, I think it was last night or the night before, I can't remember when, but it was talking about the reservations that maybe Spurs have about Pochettino. And what it said in that article is that Daniel Levy actually really wants it to happen, but Donna Cullen is the one that really doesn't want it to happen. So there's a bit of head-to-head in the boardroom. Well, it's interesting, because when I spoke to Donna Cullen, she said she said that when, in terms of Poch, at the end of his tenure at Tottenham, she was of the opinion that he lost his mojo. That was the quote that she said. Like he kind of lost his way near the end, and that's why they decided to sack him.
But why did he lose his way?
It's an interesting interpretation of events, though, isn't it? But then she also said that he was desperate to come back. That last summer when we sacked Mourinho, he was desperate to come back, but PSG wouldn't let him. So it seems as though there was less reservations then, but all of a sudden there are reservations now. Because that summer we were moving heaven and earth to get him back. We really tried to do a deal with PSG, but they wouldn't have it. Yeah. So I don't understand why all of a sudden, maybe because of what's happened to PSG, but I don't understand why though that year or 6 months or whatever it was would all of a sudden put doubts in our mind that he's the one ready.
Let's get it right about Pochettino's managerial career, right? Did wonders at Southampton. They've never had it so good since then. Did wonders at Tottenham. We're probably never going to get it so good since then. At PSG, he did the job pretty much what every other top manager does at PSG. No manager in their history has won the Champions League, and they always go and win the league, and he won the cup as well. So, I mean, Pochettino has done good jobs everywhere he's gone. I don't understand this narrative around Pochettino being like, oh, he's a failure of a coach, he's a failure of a manager.
It's rubbish. He's a top-class manager.
Yeah, of course he is. So I hate the people that say that Pochettino failed at Tottenham.
No, they just don't understand
stupid narrative
history.
Ever. Anyway, let's move on to Vincent Kompany. Ali Gold saying that Tottenham have explored the possibility of Burnley's Vincent Kompany as a youthful option for the head coach vacancy, despite his relative inexperience. I mean, we've spoken about him quite a few times. I think we both kind of agree that, you know, he's a good up-and-coming manager, but the reservations are always going to be there about the Man City job.
Yeah, it's true. We are running out of options though at this point. So, you know, sometimes beggars can't be choosers, you know what I mean? And I do like Kompany. I do think maybe he could be a good fit for us, in all honesty. But yeah, there are those reservations, obviously. But, you know, but it gets to a point, it's like, just get someone, you know what I mean?
You're not wrong, but let's talk about De Zerbi now, as Ali Gold has said that initial contact with De Zerbi's camp have produced little in the way of positive indications that the Italian is desperate to swap his stable project at Brighton for the current chaos at Tottenham right now.
Yeah, and he'd be stupid.
And we heard similar things when we were going after Potter.
Yeah, and that's absolutely right, because Potter's probably looking at the project at Brighton at the time, and he's thinking like, I've got time here. I'm focusing on growing players, and there's a project. Everyone's on the set. Everyone's in sync on what they want. And then Tottenham, like, it's completely a very political club. There's different kind of people have got different agendas when it comes to, you know, transfers, all these things, and not everyone's on the same wavelength. Then De Zerbi has, you know, found a club in Brighton where he can really sink his teeth into it and really get a lot of control over things, and he's, you know, seen as a big part of that club. Whereas he comes to Tottenham and it's chaos. No one's on the same wavelength. People want different things, and there's so much uncertainty. Whereas at Brighton, everything's running smoothly there. So, you know, why would he want to jeopardize that for, you know, to come to Tottenham where things could go wrong very quickly? Yeah. So, I absolutely understand it.
Yeah, I completely understand it. And that's like, if the hierarchy, like, look at this, like the De Zerbi thing and the Potter thing over the last 2 years, right? Both of them have pretty much rejected us. We're about to reject us because Brighton are in a better state than Tottenham Hotspur. Should that not ring alarm bells in their own head? Should that not, like, make them realise that maybe we're not doing such a good job here?
It should do, but whether it does, well, they're probably looking at the balance sheet and thinking, well, we earn more money than Brighton, so they can do whatever they can feel however they want. Look at our balance sheet.
Yeah, look how many times we've hit top four in the last 10 years. How many times has Brighton?
Footballing wise, they're at the moment, their recruitment, just the philosophy, the strategy is they're outdoing us at the moment, and that's the reality. And that's why they can spend less money and also but still find good gems, and we're pissing money up the wall at the moment.
It's not beyond all realms of possibility. They even finish above us this season, Brighton. But let's move on from the manager search and let's finish off talking about Harry Winks, as the Football Insider claiming that Sampdoria want to sign Harry Winks on a permanent basis and plan to trigger their option to buy for £22 million fee. Winks, however, is said not to be 100% sold on staying at Sampdoria. However, Tom Barkley says that Sampdoria are unable to afford any deal to sign Harry Winks on a permanent basis. The Tottenham midfielder is likely to be on the move again this summer.
Yeah, I mean, Sampdoria 19th. Yeah. Like the thought
How many
of
points from safety are they?
10.
Wow.
So the thought of them being the thought of them being in Serie B and signing a player for 20 million is fanciful. It's never going to happen. Any thought of them triggering a 22 million pound bid for Harry Winks when they'll
have to probably pay them 22 million to take him.
They're going to lose all their. I don't know if they have any top players, but any players they have on high wages, they're probably going to have to lose if they go down to Serie B. So I think it's absolute BS, basically. They're going to sign Harry Winks for 20 million.
Maniolo Gabbiadini.
Whoever. But because then they can't, like, imagine they're not even probably making enough money in Serie A to sustain themselves, let alone in Serie B. So they're going to go through some tough times. And there is no chance Winks. And Winks is not going to stay for Serie B as well. So, yeah, that's a non-starter, I think.
Completely agree. So there you have it. It looks like Winks is coming home, and
bring him home.
And the manager search is going to keep rumbling on, and it looks like Julian Nagelsmann is set to join Chelsea at some point in the near future. But thank you everyone for watching today. Let me know in the comment section below your thoughts regarding any of the news stories we brought you today. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.